Hey you guys, what is up? Turumba here. Welcome to Thoughts on Thrones of Britannia. So there is a lot to talk about. And if you search for a kind of a, I don't know, gameplay expecting review, go elsewhere. There were already bigger YouTubers who have actually played the game and they can tell you about that. I haven't, I don't know. What I can talk about is changes which are kind of interesting within the community, and changes and what does it mean actually for the series, and how we can actually see a major split in the Total War franchise. So if you wanna see gameplay or anything like this, or what has been changed or what will change, I recommend Milk and Cookie TW. I won't put a link into the description, just search it on YouTube and check out his I don't know, preview play. They have invited a couple of bigger YouTubers, have fed them good and and he does a bundle of good information, and he dares to say his opinion every now and then, very carefully, but he nonetheless does says his opinion every now and then, and that's a rare thing these days. So go there, have a look. I want to talk about a couple of other things. First of all, I really want to go into this game, and I would try to get as much as possible out of it. As you know, if you have a look around my channel, I have done a shit ton of Total War Attila, and actually Thrones of Britannia is actually a sequel to Total War Attila. Not in the sense of time-wise or historically wise, but in the sense of game mechanics and the game engine, so to say, on its own. And that's for me, the whole premise of Total War Attila was the best Total War game yet. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of want to put a couple of other disclaimers. First of all, since I will have no pre-release shit, and I'm sick and tired of going blind into the campaigns, I have to put basically on day one release day out. I will not do a campaign day one release day. I will take my time. I will have a look, just as the as the bigger YouTubers getting the pre-release. You know, they get the game, and then they can have a good look at it, they play it a bit, and then they start to record a campaign. And this is what I'm gonna do, but well, way after release. Anyway, I kind of want to enjoy this game. I kind of want to have a good look at it, and if it's a good game, there's no reason not to do so. With 2018, basically 3 years ago, Attila came out, and I still do Attila campaigns. So yeah, we have all the time in the world, just saying. So this is the first disclaimer. Second disclaimer is actually, let's have a good look at this game and let's try to get as much as possible out of it, because it will be very likely the only historical title there will be in a long time. And this is basically part of a major split in the Total War franchise. I will talk about as well. Because it's quite interesting from a long-term fan view. I will just call me and the more traditional Total War players, I will call them Total War fanatics, because I do think it fits quite good. Said this. So we will see how there's so many changes in Thrones of Britannia. It is basically built upon Total War Attila, but they do change a lot. This could be split up in several groups as well, because one time we have the direct answers from mass complaining from the Total War fanatics. For example, there is agent spam was evil in Rome 2. It was less evil in Total War Attila, but people complained about that a lot. So, and the answer, and the, as I kind of fear it might be, the overreacting of CA is just to leave the agents completely out of the game. It's basically a break with a tradition which goes on, I don't know, since every Total War game has agents. And instead of just, I don't know, limit the ability of the agents, or, I don't know, try something else, they just leave them out completely. Which is a weird thing, I think, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And just as a general note, none of the things I will talk about has to be a bad thing. They have another thing which goes into the group reacting, maybe overreacting to complaints is why won't the AI trade with me? The AI is stupid, blah 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 blah. Well, you might have genocided someone, and it's okay if they don't want to trade with the biggest asshole in the world. That's actually understandable, but overall, you can always, I don't know, give them enough money and they will surely trade with you. And overall, it is always a diplomatic option named trade on the table, which is good. It has enriched the game, basically all of them games, and CA's reaction to that complaint was now everybody trades now automatically with everybody. Could be a good thing. It will surely reduce the amount of trade value in general, because if they have access to your capital, they will trade with you and vice versa. Thus, it has to be a lower amount, which is, not a very good thing, I think. But we will see about that. And the other thing is the diplomatic option. Trade is off the table, which is also pretty drastic change and a break with a tradition, which will be, let's call it just interesting. So there are a couple of changes in this direction which are more or less reacting to the complaints of Total War fanatics. I'm not sure if CA has already learned to cope with those complaints. I mean, the name Total War Fanatics is basically, speaks for itself, isn't it? They will never, ever not complain. And CA will never, ever be able to satisfy them. This is just not, this is a universal truth. And I don't know why CA still tries, instead of just, I don't know, reduce the agents a bit, make the AI a little more likely to just trade with the human player, stuff like that. They kinda, in this part of the series, because Total War Saga will be a series, they just I don't know, try to reinvent the wheel, and that's not really needed. Anyway, we have another part of groups which are also breaking traditional points of or mechanics of the Total War franchise. A really big one will be the recruiting system in Thrones of Britannia. It will be basically so you recruit, I don't know, a couple of units, but you don't get the full unit. You get, I don't know how much actually, I haven't played it. Let's say 20% of the unit. Let's say 20 men out of 100. And then the rest will come turn by turn over replenishment. So I don't know if they have, let's say, 2 different kinds of replenishment. Let's say a recruitment replenishment where just the new recruits go into the new recruited units, or they have a general basically a replenishment for the attrition or battle losses. But I do think it would make more sense if it's one replenishment, and yeah. So this is a big game changer. So actually, for myself, I do a lot of well, you have the money, get them recruits in, and then you can do stuff. So this is basically gone. This will be quite interesting. How this gonna work out? I kind of feel like it might be very good. But it's not a reaction or something like this, and thus it belongs more to the other group, where we can actually see just game changes and how they develop. This is overall all pretty interesting, and just don't forget, none of this has to be bad. I do fear though, since they try to answer so many calls. I guess, let's say there are 10 calls they try to answer, or topics they try to tackle, that basically 3 of them won't be good, 3 of them will be very good and interesting, and a couple of in the middle which are it's just like in the game, like this it is in Thrones of Britannia, and it's not good or bad. And as we know, our people, the 3 bad ones will overshadow the good ones. And I do fear they just actually trying to answer too many calls. I do hope I'm wrong with that, because as I said, this is more or less the only historical title we will see in a long time. So here we get that. The only thing I really don't like about that game is basically the unit cards, and that is something, they tackle more or less unnecessary stuff, and or answered to rants like, "Oh, the AI won't trade with me. What stupid." And but they really put kind of unit cards like in Rome 2 in again. What the fuck? I simply don't know why they think the immersion and or the identification from the player with his own man should be higher if there is a cartoon mannequin upon it, or actually a picture of or a human being where I think that's my man there dying for me. But I simply don't get what makes them think that. It's I don't understand. And I do think it's a pity that they actually decided like that. In the end, it will be a question of practicality. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but if it's practical, it will be fine, and nothing that mods can't change. By the way, but yeah, this is it will narrow down to this. If you have to search, for a certain unit, it would be cool if we can just identify them fast. But well, we will see about that, and yeah, but this is actually the only thing I really dislike. All the other things are, yeah, let's just say at the moment interesting, and we will actually see how it turns out. I've seen the gameplay, the let's play. I don't know, it's kind of terrible, but it's a CA production let's play. I don't know. Yeah, no. I mean, anyway, it's also a promotion let's play. So you won't see much, and you haven't seen much actually. So yeah. Having said this, let's talk briefly about the map. Boom! Wow, the map, guys, it's awesome. It's seriously awesome. You have provinces with 2 regions. You have provinces with 5 regions. I'm really snoopy about how much they keep in balance-wise with sanitation, squalor, food. Your armies runs on food now. So you have to forage. What is the word? I do think so. And public order and stuff like that. It's really, I'm really snoopy about that. And the map itself, it's just awesome. I do think it will be the most dense of all the maps we ever had. Remember this joke of a map from the Spain DLC from Napoleon Total War? It was a fucking joke, seriously. And now look at the British Islands. Wow, it's really awesome. And also, I do think we have in terms of regions next to each other, the most. It's actually, I do think, the biggest map. Turn it around and you might I don't know, say it's kind of a Europe map, and the big difference here is really if you now go to the east, the regions not getting bigger to fill up the spaces, just like in every Total War Europe map ever. No, it stays the small little ones. So this is this is awesome. This is super awesome. You have to use diplomacy, otherwise I don't think it's really possible to do anything. And yeah, that's really cool. It brings really a kind of Crusader Kings part into the game. I really like it. Yeah, that will be great. Really, I do think it will be pretty good. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe the AI doesn't give a fuck, and they would just leave, I don't know, certain regions on the map alone. But yeah, we'll see about that. That worked in Age of Charlemagne quite good, actually. Unless you fucked it up really good, sagging Rome or something. But yeah, you know what I mean. So this is I'm really looking forward to it. Have you seen Ireland? Holy shit! It's a fucking mess. It's really great. I guess I will put in a picture of the map somewhere here, but yeah, we will see. Guys, it's gonna be pretty awesome. I do think we will have a lot of value out of this. And if they just keep doing these kinds of maps, and since it is a series, who knows where we go next? It could be more or less everything. It's really So for if it doesn't suck completely, and which I kind of doubt, because I still have trust in Jack Lusted, even though maybe just because he created the first mod I've ever played. But yeah, I do have a little bit of trust here. And let's face it, the marketing is fingering around, you know. I mean, look at that. Games of Thrones. Oh no, what is this? Oh, Thrones of Britannia. Oh, look at that. There's Ragnar Lodbrok. It's from the Viking series. Yeah, no, fuck that. You know, it's a little bit so subtle. Wow, really. Well, but yeah, I guess they have to do a little bit of money. But yeah, that brings us more or less to the next part of this little thoughts on. Why do I say this is the only historical title we will see in a long time? And yeah, basically because of that. We have we've seen the trailer. Actually, you know, before we do anything, let's watch the trailer.
The Empire, long united, must divide, and destiny be shaped by its champions.
Well, what have we seen there? We've seen heroes, and I've skipped just the minute, the first part I've skipped, and just then till the end. But as soon as the armies appeared, the lady talks about and champions, and then it's all about the champions. So, and that is basically what we kind of expect. It's gonna be, I do fear, it's gonna be a game where you have heroes, and those heroes are basically unbeatable fighting machines. And they would just, I don't know, trash half a unit, do a barrel roll, and fear a mouse click, they would trash the other half, and then the beaten up 120 men would just run away, half of them lying dead, and then the hero turns around to tackle the other hero or another unit. So this is, well, it doesn't really matter if you like it or not. I personally, I don't like it. I kind of feel like Total War should be more or less like a chess game. It's you got that, I got that, and we both have our skills, and now let's see what we can do. And if you put in heroes or in Warhammer the magic and stuff like that, or big, super big creatures, it's a little bit like you're playing chess with several queens, and you know, this is not really chess. This is a really weird game. Maybe it has charm on its own, but well, independent from that, whether you like it or not, it doesn't really matter, because this won't, if they focus that much on the heroes, it won't be a historical game. Let's face it. I'm a big fan of martial arts, and I do think this game will be good and it will be a lot of fun. But have you ever seen The House of the Flying Daggers? If you have, you might agree, and if you haven't, go watch it. It's a really nice martial art film, you know, with running on tree crones and stuff like that. But I do think we all can agree that House of the Flying Daggers is not a historical film. It's a fantasy film. It's just what it is, and it's fine the way it is. But they wouldn't call it a historical film. It might be based on historical stuff, but that doesn't make it a historical film. And same goes, I do fear, for Total War Three Kingdoms. I do hope I'm wrong though. You know, maybe they just provide a shit ton of moral to the surrounding units and are not actually little tanks who are just fucking around however they want and can cross the unit lines and stuff like that. I really do hope that's not the case. But yeah, well, I do fear it will be the case, and simple because this is where the big money is. Three Kingdoms is a clear grab to the Chinese market. They have, I don't know, Chinese has now a growing middle class, and these people can afford PCs now, and there are a lot of Chinese people. So they want to tap in there. And the other thing is, they kind of have to put in the whole hero stuff. Nearly said shit, but no, let's call it just stuff. And just because they want to recreate the mainstream money, and this is actually only possible if they do fantasy in it. Yeah, as you have seen in Warhammer 2, which Warhammer 1 and 2, which not only got the Total War player base, and not only the Warhammer fan base. No, they also got a shit ton of mainstream fishies who are just, I don't know, played it for 3 days and then, nope, finished. $150 gone, you know? No, I don't know how much a typical mainstream fish actually gets in DLCs and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess a couple of them do, but it will rapidly fall. But overall, you know, the main game costs $60. Yeah, they will get it and they will forget about it very fast, and that's basically the dream of every publisher, and even of CA themselves. You know, just like a Coke, basically, and throw it away. That's the dream, and yeah. So this is what Three Kingdoms is mostly about. Of course, we will try this attempt on Thrones of Britannia as well, and the really stupid title, as well as the how it is depicted, tries to go in this direction as well. But I don't think it won't be, because simply as the majority will say it's boring. No magic shit, no explosions, no big screaming ogres. No, there are no ogres, but well, you know what I mean, trolls then. And yeah, so this is where we actually have a big split, guys. And the one thing is, we have Three Kingdoms, basically, originated out of Total War 2, Total War 2, Total War Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer, and then it goes down to Age of Charlemagne from Total War Attila. And I don't know actually the direct link between Total War Attila, maybe Age of Charlemagne, and then we're gonna go to Thrones of Britannia. But I do think what they have said is Total War Attila, and goes directly to Thrones of Britannia. And the left one, guys, Thrones of Britannia, is for the fanatics, which is overall a pretty good move. Otherwise, Three Kingdoms. I don't know if it's gonna be a good game or a bad game, or basically a release disaster like we had a lot of in Total War history. So with history, I don't mean the actual title, just the history of CA releases. I mean, but this is a good move. I mean, look at Dawn of War, 40k. Basically, what we have seen there on Dawn of War 3, there was a gigantic marketing bubble, and all the influencers in the world played this game for exactly as long as it was worth it for them view-wise, and they praised it, and they said, oh, look at that, this is awesome, and then they just forgot about it. So this game has been played for a month, and not even a couple of weeks, and then it was gone out of the mainstream. I don't really know how they how good they made money at their release date, but it's pretty clear that it's out of the picture at the moment. I'm pretty sure as well there will be a core which is also or still playing it, but that doesn't mean that this game is successful. And this I do think is a thing that CA has seen and tries to avoid now. Basically, what they do is we have our big marketing thing and the mainstream thing, which will be Three Kingdoms, which will generate us a shit ton of money, or will be a big failure in the long run. Maybe just for one-time usage, that would be enough for them. But if it fails horribly, we still have another leg to stand on, and that will be us Total War fanatics, with Thrones of Britannia or a Total War saga. And this is, I do think, a pretty clever move, and B, this is kind of reassuring, guys. And this is the main reason why I want Thrones of Britannia to succeed. Because this is actually for us. And I'm looking forward, to just get as much as possible out of it. It is kind of worth our attention, because while Warhammer on its own was something you could appreciate or you could not appreciate, just game mechanics wise, in terms of tactics, strategy, freedom of choice, basically the very principles of what Total War a series or franchise was built upon has been stripped blank and robbed of many features. And let's be clear about that. There is less tactical choice, there is less freedom on the map, there's so much which is simply not as good, a step backwards. And I do find it very, very good that we get actually a series where they can dare again, which they do actually with all these changes. Yeah, guys, and this is something I kind of want to make clear. So the one is fantasy, Three Kingdoms, very likely, if not a martial art fantasy. And then don't get me wrong, as I said, it's gonna be, I do think, a fun game. I enjoyed Warhammer 2 as well. Not yeah, well, not so much Warhammer itself, but yeah, you know, Warhammer 2. It was quite nice. And even if Three Kingdom fails, we know that if there comes a standalone afterwards or something like this, or the bigger DLC, which will likely be there, will be way better. Because yeah, second game is always best game. So, and this is another thing where I have also high hopes on Thrones of Britannia, because we had already, it is built already. Total War Attila is a decent base where you can build upon. You know, it's not just like Rome 2 is shit and you build upon Rome 2. No, Total War Attila has its flaws, but the foundation is solid. And from there on, they can build. From there on, they build the complete future of the Total War franchise, as we can see in this picture. So, yeah, guys, I'm not entirely sure what you will find about this video. So, I mean, in the end, I'm kind of feel a little bit sad, basically, that they choose to yeah, how cool would it be if they are open about that stuff? It's still a little bit keep the customer confused, because actually what they actually doing is they're calling the historical title Thrones of Britannia a Total War saga, which is actually, you know, a saga, more or less. This is gonna be a little bit fantasy-like, or just a story, you know, but it is the actual historical title. And they're calling the Three Kingdoms the martial art fantasy title. They're calling this the big major historical title, which is, yeah, very likely not true. I mean, guys, I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I guess I'm not wrong about that. All of the trailers actually indicating, we see a minute of fighting, and this minute is to 90-95% focused on heroes. Yeah, guys, this is just like it is. On the one side we have fantasy mainstream, yeah, fast and or risky money, unsure future, to also due to Sega's major influence on the big cash cow. On the other side, we have the historical title, the Total War, for the Total War fanatics, which are, you know, not forgotten. That's something. I kind of want to grab that straw, you know, and yeah, and it will be making a small but decent net win. I'm pretty sure about that. So, and it can be also, it's not unsure, it's not risky, it can be carried through eternity with that scope, which is which they actually setting the whole campaign, basically. That's just England. How awesome is that? You know, they can do the same for space and just say Spain, just say sorry for the Napoleon campaign. So yeah, this is something. Yeah, guys, I do looking forward to it, and I'm not sure if you get these kind of thoughts on anywhere else. So, but maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen the other guys. What I have seen. What I have seen is, when I was searching for the Three Kingdoms trailer, I have seen the I have seen the what it's called. They have YouTubers really looking at a 2-minute trailer with 10 seconds of a glimpse of an artificial created look on the battle view, and then they sit there and do an analysis. And I was kind of shocked. A lot of people did that. Which is, I don't know what they think. Yeah, well, let me check. And then they do this until something comes out. I don't. Wow, guys. Well, this is what they choose. I choose this. I do hope you liked it. Yeah, it's not much. It's just me and my thoughts. And it's yeah. Well, let's hope I did this in the case of Three Kingdoms. And yeah. So, but otherwise, yeah, we will see what is there and what not. Thrones of Britannia. I'm really looking forward towards to it, and yeah, I want it to be a decent game. We will see, guys. Wherever you are, I hope you have a nice one. Goodbye.